Hey, Dragon Metals here. Today I will be painting the final stages on the Sector Mechanicus boilers, power arch, bulkhead and lift chains. That's all these things. First I will be doing the cabling, the electrical wiring in blue and green, and then I will be doing all the final shading and washes with strong tone. Got a nice angle there. My painting rig, my lighting rig thing. It's most handy. Do recommend that. So, detail brush first off. Try and speed through this as quick as possible. On the wiring at least. As you would see, I'm using a quite small brush. That's because this is like one of the thicker cables. Not fully undone that one actually. A little bit on the side. There we go. As you can see, minuscule amounts of paint applied. Very small amounts. This will be the final detailing part on the wirings. And the shading will add lots of depth to the whole thing and neutralise all the ridiculous shininess of the gold and the silver, bringing it back into the gothic feel of the whole of the rest of the mechanics. Lots of wires hidden about on these things. Back to the green. To be as quick as possible with this wiring stage, as the shading will take a little while. Estimate this will take about 15 minutes and the shading about 20 on the, due to the massive boiler. So wire's done on them too. Support arch now. Big support arch. Just pretty cool. Flipping it over, as you can see, to make sure I get the same wire done on the opposite side in whatever colour that it's painted. As you can see, there are very tiny wires all over the place. Slip there a bit on the edge of the support arch. And this is why I give it a 15-minute to 20-minute estimate. It's very tricky. And there are many cables, as you can see. I'm trying to paint quickly. Didn't get all of that one. After I have painted all of these, I'm going to be painting up a display base, which is just in need of dry brushing. And then I will assemble the entire Sector Mechanicus set, along with loads of troops and bad guys and stuff, to make it look cool, even more cool. Where was I? Flip that. Do this inner cable here, and we'll do that one. Seems to be extra cables here. All in quite difficult to reach places of that. Doesn't matter if they're not fully covered, however, as the shading is going to obscure a lot of that. Do some touching up on the edges here. There's quite a lot of gold spillage. Need brown for that, which I have packed away. Oof, pretty difficult that. Fiddly. Ooh, tiny cable. Annoying. Right, that's all the green cables done on that side. This side now. Quicker I get these cables painted, I can do the other colours, which is blue. Even though you won't see much of it, it'll be more of a subtle sort of blue mixed into the whole thing. Once I've applied the shading, which will add like natural shadows to all the metal components and whatnot. Essentially a wash with a glazed colour. In that case it would be a wash of brown with a bit of glaze in it. That's the type that I will be using anyway. It's very good, lasts quite a long time. Where was I? Fiddly this bit, as you can see. Cool. Ooh, there's one exposed on the side here. That's having it. Two in fact. They can both be green. Right. Blue on that next. Even though I'm painting these quite fast, I might probably run over. Be about 20 minutes doing this stage. Even though I'm painting quite quickly. Trying to, but I have to be careful, because the colours I'm using are quite strong. They do not match with the whole thing, so be careful not to spill much. make little mistakes on the side or it hits another part, it's not to worry. The shading's going to hide that. If you've got a bit on the pipe like that, it's worth brushing it off, however, with a bit of water, because the colours are quite strong compared to the metal colours. Nasty cut there on my hand, sorry about that. That'll be from metalworking. As I'm preparing my last metal pour of the year. Aircraft aluminium. That's aluminium with copper mixed into it. Stuff used for helicopter gunship armour and whatnot. Why am I pouring that? Well, I've got a lot of it and I pour metal pretty exclusively and quite well. Been doing it for years. So, I'm going to the last of my aluminium this year. Which would be cool. I'll be happy with that. Copper next year, most likely. Lots. And more valuable things too. Here. Quite tricky, a lot of these, as they are in there. These wires, cables. Almost done with this, thankfully. No spillage there. All the cabling appears to be done nicely. Focus. Missing down here. Need to do the blue there. Thought that was complete. Dang it. No worries. Can't even see the second cable here. And there it is, tucked under. Oof. Shouldn't take long to do. Need some more paint on that. Going in thin on that little lip on the pot. Oh dear, it's a very strange position that. It's tucked in behind the, I guess you'd call it an oil filter or some sort of, don't know, adapter, that thing. No plumbing expert. But it does look like some sort of filter. After all, this is a boiler complex, lots of steam valves and such. Last wire. Oof. Why does it have to be in such awkward positions? Cool. Bit off that valve thing. What's done a watery state. There we go. All done on that side. Blue and green, very nice. Put that one there. Onto the big boiler now. The largest component in the Sector Mechanicus set. It's a very nice piece. I like it. Which is why I'm paying it a little bit extra attention than other pieces. There is actually a top to this, which I do have, and I will put on when I've completed it. All blue cables there, as you can see. I'll be doing green on the other side. There's a couple of pipes by here. I'm going to actually do these pipes in colours. Okay, bit of a spillage there. Recover some of that out of there. Watery brush. Seems to be working. Yep. Very nice. Some of it more on the bottom. Cool, right. Ooh, more cables here. Ooh, and wires. Oh, lots of details in these things. Which is cool. Some not so easy to paint due to their strange position. But even if you painted this in an unassembled state, it'd still be quite difficult to paint. I so suspect. Put one on that gold there. Gone. So all the cables done on that side. Yes. Other side. Ooh, hair. Sorry about that. Quite a bit of gold on that. Need to try and obscure that with a bit of extra paint. There we go. Cool. As I said, this will be the final stage of this boiler and Sector Mechanicus stuff. There's a lot more to the set, which you will see, but it's mainly lots of repetition, so lots of extra bulkheads, cranes and wires, another 3 of them in different styles, for example, which I will set up on that cool diagram. Still got to paint the base though. Okay, that's them 2 done. Any at the top, on the sides? Doesn't appear to be. Yep. Onto the green then. 20 minutes in, huh? Let's see. Slightly overestimate, as suspected. Hopefully the shadings won't take too long. Which will be done straight away after this. Awkward position. See when they do that. You don't have to paint all these details, but you have the eye. Might as well. A lot of people don't have the eyesight and require magnification. That can work too, just take much longer. And the results will probably be very slightly better than just using eyeball and good eyesight. So, cable's done there and there. Flip. Got that pipe by there now. And all on the other side. Ooh, bit too much green on that brush. Whoa, loads. Flip that. Sweet. 3 cables there. Shaky. There we go. Catching the paint quite nicely. That helps. Nice. A bit up there, the one on the edge, like golden servo dude. These buildings in the Warhammer story are actually alive in some way or form, believe it or not. So that skull thing on the top actually has a consciousness, like a AI or some such. It was actually made from a human skull. Freakiness. So, heads in jazz type stuff. Talking heads in jazz. That's what that thing is there. There's a dude in it somewhere. Nice green pipe. There's a couple more there. And then I'll apply the washes. Finish all this up. That's my neighbour's dog. Probably backing up fireworks. There's been quite a lot lately. It is that time of year. Halloween and all that will be coming. Suppose that'll be popular this year. Masks and whatnot. So all the piping is done. Focus. There we go. Time to get the washes on, but I will need to change my water and clean my brush. Be right back. Clean water. We use a larger brush for a lot of these components, which I have here. As I would want to literally splash it on lots. See what it does there? Picks out all those letters, very lovely. Oh, hey. Sorry about that. Keeps happening. Going all the crevices. No point being stingy with this stuff. It's not the point. You need to get a lot in all the crevices. Bubbles. Not good. There you go. Can happen when you're dabbing the paint on. It goes on irregularly. Okay, that's good on the shading there. And on that chain. Side also. As you can see, it uses a lot on each bit. We want it to look cool. I will need it to look like all the rest of what I've painted. So. Some more on that bit there. Okay. Nice. Turn that around carefully without touching it. Oh, use them two things at the top. Come along nicely. I have to do this with all the other things. Okay, it's looking quite cool. The more paint that goes on it, the more uniform it will look. Done. Put that carefully out of the way somewhere. Oh well, that's going to have to flip in a minute. Let's do this fan bulkhead, which I will need my smaller brush. As there are more surfaces on this that have different colour of paint on, that being the grime stage. Engine mount. Quite easy to do. Stick my finger in it. Night is rapidly falling. Going to be a cold night tonight, judging by the strange weather. Winter is coming, no doubt, so I need to get my metal pouring on very soon. Check that out. I will be posting one after this video. This is my last but one pour. More of this stuff. Hopefully I have enough. I have to get more in my next paint order, end of the month. I use a lot of this and also a black version of this. You can See, it adds loose depth to the cables and radiators and all the other components, shading them all quite nicely, naturally as well, since the paint falls into the crevices like dirt would, and how shadows would naturally fall. F7, nice little plaque by there. Who knows what that means and signifies? Probably the number of the defensive bulkhead. All done. Focus. Come on. Issues focusing there. Sorry about that. And there we go. To the wall. As you can see, there's nice depth inside of this part now. And the same for the fan bulkhead and these gauges and all the wires and stuff, which you can now see. Dear. Don't worry, that's just bunny fur. She's on the floor over there. As I have a house bunny named Lucky. She's lovely. Voice is a little bit raw today, as I've been lump hammering metal all day. Shortly before this video actually, which caused that there. Right, tore some skin up and a shard flew into my skin. Didn't hurt much. It's far from the first time. Happens when scrapping. Especially when scrapping metals. You get used to even the deeper cuts quite quickly. Absolutely large amounts on this support arch. Got that big boiler here as well. Just going to use that quite a bit. They always do. Both sides. Got them ducts also. A large one in the middle. Trying to get all these shades on quite quickly as time is getting on. Hopefully the video won't cut out at the end, but either way you will see the wash stage with these things and how lovely they look once washed. Quite nice, isn't it? Picks up all the depth and detail. Resets it all back into the natural look of the whole thing. Which is an industrial gothic sort of look. Well, I painted industrial, but it's already a gothic thing. Futuristic gothic. Electronic doodad, I suppose. Using a lot here. Damn it. Even more. Imagine that boiler's going to use an absolutely huge amount. Seems most likely, doesn't it? Considering how much I've used already on just these components. going to put some colour inside of that light. Missed it. We'll do that afterwards. Probably unfilmed, as I will take more time. Miss that bit. Just do that tile. Could be missing that light. Although I suppose it would be, could be in an off state. I've done all the others with colours. Might as well. Okay. A tiny bit more and then I'm done with this support column. Yay. As you can see, it's quite laborious doing the wash stage, but it does have lovely results. Look at that. Come on, focus on the loveliness. Very cool, huh? Boiler next. Probably won't have enough time to do it all, but I will continue till the end of the video, or at least until I run out of memory. Let's get the big brush on. A large amount of wash. Not much left in there. Yeah, it's going to need a hell of a lot of this thing. As suspected. Pretty much all of it needs covering and wash and all. I need to try and spread it around. Especially on the base here, which we use a lot. Coming along though, bit at a time. That large fan here, not all of that needs doing. Good amount on the inside, however. So it's all nicely marked, washed. As I mentioned, there is going to be a metal pouring after I post this video. There's gold there, I'm not sure. Check it out, should be cool. Never seen one before, doubly so. Fleck of gold, now gone. Okay, that's the bottom section pretty much done. Got rid of all these sheaths as well on the side, however. Use a lot. Hopefully have enough. Should have. It would be a disaster if I didn't have enough. lot pool in there. Suck some of that out to use on the side. Looking very, very pretty the more that I add to it. Look at that. Lovely. It's coming along very cool. There we go. Having trouble getting it into the crevices there. Right. Much more of this is left. Oh, there's quite a bit left. Very good. Spillage. Never demonstrated this technique before. It's a very good technique. Washing. Not everyone washes things. A lot of people just layer it and dry brush. Bunny fur. Getting some around this cabling.